welcome to the channel.
You know the drill. We have disabled the storm shield.
Before you start, go ahead and become a wolf while liking and subscribing. And we're just going to jump right into it. Today we're going to be talking about constructors. This is a little constructor for dummies inspired by me and my friends' comments we were having during a mission. I'll show you that clip later on in the video. But moving on, one of the tips you might want to know is placing an angle wall instead of a flat wall can stretch your build just a little further. So in some cases you might be building. Also, you may want to remember to use a constructor if you're going to be doing a tutorial about constructors. Alright, moving on. Oh look, a constructor. How convenient. Alright, let's get started. Basically what I was trying to point out was you may want to use an angled wall on some of your builds for a constructor, so it does go one further with an angled wall compared to a flat wall. Because if you're unaware, your base as a constructor counts vertically as up and down as a panel. So if you use an angled wall in some situations, it'll go one further, as so. See that last panel over there isn't or is lit up as it was covered. Now without the angled, it's not quite covered. And this is just a couple hints, because some people were asking for some help with their constructors things, and this is just a little pointing outer. And moving on to the next little ditty. You may want to connect traps to your base if you have the perks on your base that helps traps. Like my buddy has the perk on. Regardless of what trap I just buffed, it is connected to his base. Lessons in construction for dummies. If you can get your tile close enough, just add an angle wall instead of a flat wall, because it stretches out one tile further. Constructor hint of the day. Congratulations. One of my commenters asked, how do you get a lot of metal? They're rebuilding their endurance and they need a lot of metal. And one simple way is to have a material grinder of any shape and size. As you see, it doesn't need to be pretty. It can be as ugly as a giant square, like so. You can away from keyboard loot your recycle on your base as a constructor on the PlayStation 3. An easy way is you just go up to your base, hit square. As soon as you hit square to loot it, just hit your PlayStation button, and then you can just go mess around on the internet or whatnot. Then when you get back, it'll be automatically looted into your inventory each time it's cycled, and you'll probably see a pile of loot like that when you return after like 10 or 15 minutes or whatever. Alright, last but not least, we're going to cover loadouts because it's extremely boring. And basically I'm going to say briefly, because everybody says this is the perfect loadout, but for me, I just use the loadout that I prefer, and this is the loadout I currently use for public matches, because I usually use this loadout to cover the base in case I'm like the only constructor and they decide to kill stuff. The base does need like a little coverage, and I usually like to be a constructor during public matches, and this is the loadout I use. But other than that, most of the time during solo missions, it's usually better to use a Ice King loadout, and I have an Ice King loadout that I just kind of threw together because I use it sometimes for 160s solo. Regardless, that's about it for today. I hope y'all enjoyed today's little hints, and don't forget to become a wolf by liking, subscribing, and see you.